Wait a second. Everbee for Shopify? I thought Everbee was only meant for Etsy. What's going on here? Let me explain. So, I don't really sell on Etsy at all anymore because it's basically a waste of time, which I can get into. I can show you the ugly side of Etsy and 10 reasons why at the end of this video. But right now, what I want to do is show you something. You can use Everbee to spy on Etsy and then make your own versions of products and put them on your own Shopify store. This route is 1000% better than listing on Etsy. Now, I know some people are going to turn this off right now because they're going to be like, no, you're wrong. I love Etsy. It's the greatest place ever. No way. Well, sorry, but Etsy's broken. They lay off people. They're losing money. They're not doing very well at all. And in fact, I can't see it recovering anytime soon. So let's go here and let's say I want to figure out, I'm going to start selling some t-shirts. And I'm like, where do I start? Well, for my kind of niche research, what I can do is just type in t-shirts in here. And you can see there's 4,611 monthly searches. So I know I'm in the right ballpark for this. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet or which niche I'm going to get into because you do need a niche, right? Please don't sell t-shirts unless you have a niche. You're going to struggle if you don't. So I'm going to select physical items. Again, I have Everbee installed. If you need Everbee, go to ppc-coach.com/Everbee. That's my affiliate link. You can go there and buy it if you want. Okay, and then we'll click on Star Seller, the usual. Then I'll click on Show Results, and then I'll go up into the URL bar, and I will remove Ship to Canada because I don't care about that. And then I'll go remove the word star and replace it with best. So now I have best-selling t-shirts, and they still have delivery to the US, although I don't really care about that. Let me knock that off. So I got bestseller physical items t-shirts. So let's look at what they have. And you can see they've got a whole bunch of different niches there. Now, I think Father's Day just kind of passed, so the deadline's coming up very soon. But you can see that they've got a bunch. They also do retarget me quite a bit for what I've looked for on Cranky. That's funny. For stuff that I've already looked at on here, so I might get some results in here that aren't 100% accurate as far as bestsellers go. But this is where I can go to product analytics, and I can go by total sales, and I can see right away, here's the first one. So I'm like, if I want to start a t-shirt store, I could sell these custom runs. They're doing really well. People buy a lot of them. The only problem is it's a lot of work to put them together. You have to get the pictures, you have to get the name, then you have to put them all together and make them look pretty. And yeah, they'll sell, but the manual labor involved in that is intense. So not something I really want to do. I want to do something more like this, and I can't believe this one has sold so many. Are you kidding me? 6,500 sales on this. I remember back in like 2013, I made a shirt like this. That is funny. There's got to be more attached to this. Whenever I see this, in fact, I always think there must be like a group or a club or somebody who's buying this. And I like to do this too, like a reverse image search. So search image with Google. And I just want to see where else this comes up, because sometimes you can find something that's happening with it. Although there's a million of these out there. It just goes to show too that like if you find a design, it doesn't mean that you can't make your own version. Like look at how many are, there's a ton. Just crazy. Anyway, it's an interesting shirt. And yeah, this is something that we used to do all the time. And now it's selling on Etsy, and that's like their number 2 in the t-shirt category, I guess. Which is crazy. 6,500 sold. So if I'm opening a t-shirt store on like Shopify, I need a niche. I got to figure that out. Well, I'm not going to do custom. I'm not going to do just dad shirts, although I probably could if I wanted to. I want to find like a niche that's popular and working very well, that has a lot of sales in it. So for me too, ideally, I would love a niche that I can actually use AI to make the designs more than anything. So here's one, wildflowers. And I skipped the other custom one because I don't care. So there's 4,400 sales there. Let's look at this one. And these are just those wildflower designs, which are very, very simple to make with things like Midjourney. I could whip these out in a heartbeat. So I could go here and I could go, okay, that's a good idea. Put that on my list of possible niches. And then I can go look at their store. And the other cool thing I can do is see they have 102,000 sales. That's amazing. Good for them. And they have a lot of text-based stuff. And they do actually have a lot of these wildflower type designs. which is very cool. They got a whole bunch of collections. Oh man, like 1950. Oh, yeah, wow, good for them. This store's kicking butt. So what I'm going to do is go and analyze all their listings. And I don't mean to pick on this store. I apologize if you're watching this, but who knows. And I'm going to go by total sales down. And I want to see what's coming up here. So wildflowers, flowers, trophy husband, love them, spoil them, cats, plants. So really, I mean, they have a wide variety of shirts here. Gardener t-shirt. Hoeing ain't easy. That's funny. Very cool. Love it. Okay, so this gives me an idea too of like there's the gardening niche. Here's the wildflower niche. Is this niche going to die out? I don't know. But it is possible. Trophy husband. There's another one. This one's got a boatload of sales. And it's about a 3-year-old listing. Super simple, right? Just text-based trophy husband, done. Gift for him. Yeah, that's very cool. Now the thing, I mean, I can go into this and this and this. These are gimmicks that Etsy's using, because Etsy's trying to pull out every gimmick in the book to try and get their sales back. So they're using countdown timers, which we used like over 10 years ago too, until Facebook told us not to, because they were too, it's like false scarcity. It's you know, the store is running a 24-hour sale every single day. And this is like a gray area for places like the FTC to come in and be like, well, that's not really true. You're not running that. Anyway, kind of gimmick. And the other gimmick on Etsy you get is this, the discounted sales, or the super low price, $11.77. And typically it's a baby onesie that they'll put in here. There it is, toddler. So they have a toddler shirt for a trophy husband, of course, because, you know, trophy husbands are toddlers. But the seller knows this, and they know how to game the Etsy system, because the Etsy system is kind of set up dumb. By the way, sidebar, these little gimmicks and this little, I'll call it like a bait and switch, because when somebody sees this trophy husband shirt, and I'm not picking on this store owner because everybody does it, but when, as a buyer, if I'm coming to Etsy and I'm looking for a trophy husband shirt and I type that in up here, I type in trophy husband, trophy husband shirt, I guess. I don't even know if anything will come up, but oh yeah, we got a bunch. So I see this, I'm like $11.75, $11.77, $19.77. Well, I'm not going to bother with this one because it's way more expensive than the other ones. $16.24, $29.81. Is this person crazy? I can get it for $11.77 right here. So me as a buyer and somebody who doesn't understand how Etsy tricks their buyers and then wonders why their sales are down. So I'll click on this one, popular now. And I'll see it's $11.75, and then I'm like, well, that's amazing. I'm definitely buying that. Oh, wait, I got to pick my size. And then I go to my size, like I'm probably a 3XL. So it went from like 11, whatever that was, $11.75 up to $27.44. Right away, you lost me as a buyer because you tricked me. You tricked me to get here. And Etsy knows this, and Etsy doesn't care. That's how Etsy actually orders this pricing. Sellers on Etsy know this. Sellers on Etsy don't care. They think, well, I just got to be the cheapest one on that page of results so that people will click through to mine. And then when they pick the size, you know, you're going to pay more. That's hurting conversions, and that's hurting trust on Etsy big time. And all the sellers that are doing that are just, you know, if you're wondering why sales are down on Etsy, well, there's one reason. The other reason is, like we saw on that other one with the countdown timer, that's fake. It's a fake scarcity one. Not cool at all. So I really wish Etsy would get rid of that. Or even put the price, list the price as the average of all the different sizes. And I think buyers would appreciate that more because they don't feel like they just got duped into clicking. So a buyer goes here and does that, and then I'm like, well, that sucks. I don't want to pay 27. I thought I was paying 11. So then I scroll down here and I'm like, oh boy, look at this one, 11.41. So I go over here and then I'm like, oh, sale ends soon. Oh no, new markdown. Oh no. Like gimmick, 3 gimmicks right away. And then I go to my size again, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Well, it went from 11 up to 21 again. No, don't want that. So I just keep scrolling down. Oh, there's that one again, but I know that one's fake. Let's try and find another cheap one. Oh, here we go, $11.75. So me as a buyer with no clue about all these gimmicks that Etsy does, goes there and picks my size again, 2XL maybe. So it went from 11 up to 24. So now I'm like, nope, still not happy. Keep going. Can you see how a buyer would be upset with that? Like, this is like reason number 5,275 why Etsy is like broken at the moment. Anyway, the point is I can find good selling shirts and I can find great niches, and then I can even do niche research into those. So if I was looking here, here's one, this Jesus riding a dinosaur. It was actually hilarious. I love this shirt. I can find this one, and we know it's like a funny t-shirt. That's kind of the niche for this. So I could go here, and I could, look, at least they're not doing that gimmick. Thank you. Good for you, shirt man dude. And then I go here, and then I type that. And now I'm into another niche where I can do some research and figure out what do we have in here. And the funny shirt niche is huge, but even that might be a little too broad. So the point is, I can go into Etsy and I can find shirts in my niche. Let's say I'm in the gardening niche, just as an example. Gardening t-shirt. Now I can find all of the gardening t-shirts in here, and I can even find the best sellers. And what I can do, instead of coming to Etsy and making a version and competing with 5 million other Etsy sellers, or what is it, 9 million now? So hoeing ain't easy. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like that shirt. Let's see how many people found this bestseller on Etsy and copied it. So let's go like that. Oh, there we go. We got pages and pages and pages. Yep, same thing. So imagine you're a buyer too, and you're like, well, I want to buy a Hoeing Ain't Easy shirt. Wow, there are literally like, there's probably, I'll just skip ahead to page 5. Yeah, still going. If you guys think you're doing something unique on Etsy, you're not. Because as soon as you get something selling, somebody steals it. And it's horrible. So what I'm saying is, take this Hoeing Ain't Easy thing and go to your Shopify store and make a couple of those. Now, when somebody goes to your Shopify store, everything they go and look at is yours. So, and there's no gimmicks, there's no tricks, there's no BS that's going to piss off buyers like Etsy's doing right now with all this little put the lowest price in the make a toddler, make a baby onesie, whatever. Well, you can't even say onesie anymore, but make that and put it in a listing. There's none of that on your own store. So I could make a gardening store on Shopify. I could come to Etsy to do all my research using good old Everbee here, and I could be very profitable. And in fact, what I do, what I am doing right now, I'm building a t-shirt store, and I'm using Everbee to spy on Etsy, to find good designs that are working. I put them into a nice little spreadsheet, and then what I do is I make my own version, or I'll go and buy my own version. If you notice, even over here, go here, watch this. I'll just select filters, and I'll go digital on this particular little, oh, that's gardening t-shirt. Let's go here. So I want a Hoeing Ain't Easy design. So there's 130 Etsy sellers, well, maybe a little bit less, that have made these into designs that I could buy. And then as long as I have the rights to them, like commercial rights, I can put them on my own Shopify store and sell them. And I'm not competing with like 500 other Etsy sellers selling the same thing, and with buyers totally confused and scratching their head. Instead, I put it on my own Shopify store where I've got this, along with 100 other bestsellers that I found on Etsy. And now I'm making some real money because I don't have to lie about my pricing. I don't have to use any countdown timer gimmicks, and I don't have to trick people into clicking on my listing on Etsy. Not only that, I don't have to wait for traffic because I can go out and get my own. So it's just far, far better. Anyway, that's what I do, using Everbee for Shopify to create my own t-shirt store. That's what I'm doing. That's what you can do. You can do this in any niche at all. And if you're worried about, well, I don't know how to generate my own traffic, it's not that hard. It's really not that hard. And if you think about it, you're paying so much in fees. If you even took the money that you're paying in fees to Etsy and just applied that to a small ad campaign every day, you would be light years ahead of your competition. Light years. Anyway, if you want more on that, let me know in the comments. I do have a little program where you can follow me along as I build a t-shirt store from 0 to 7 figures and then sell it. That's the goal. So it's basically print on demand coach.com. You can go there and you can learn more about it. Have a great day. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll put the link to Everbee as well in the comments below. But this is how I use it. I use Everbee to spy on Etsy to find products that I'm going to put on my Shopify store. And I think Everbee, Cody, change this. Find the best products to sell. Change this to online instead of on Etsy. Find the best products to sell on Etsy, or find the best products to sell online from Etsy in seconds, because now you can expand beyond just the Etsy universe into like the Shopify universe, which is just as big. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Have a great day. Let me know how wrong I am in the comments, and we'll talk to you later.